dividing decimal fraction without calculator. And question number 1, 2, 3, 4 was given to us. It's given to us right now. Please, if you find what I'm doing here nice, subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to help me grow my channel. And also comment. If you have subscribed already, comment. Thank you for encouraging me. Question number 1. Dividing the decimal fraction without calculator. Now where we are going to solve this without using what? Calculator. And how do we do that? I will first of all get the decimal place of this. How many decimal places on this man? And how many decimal places on this man? Then looking at it, I have this implied as 0.15. This point here stands for 1. And after this point, any other value is going to be represented by 0 and 0. That means this divided by what? 0.5. This point here is what? 1. And the remaining 5 is what? 0. This means that what? This man is a what? 2 decimal place. This 0 takes me how many decimal place of this 0.15 is 2 decimal place. Have you seen what I mean? That means I have 2 decimal place here. Then here, for here, this dot, this decimal point represented by 1. And after that, I have 5. And that 5 will be represented with 0. And means that he has 1 decimal place. That means he has what? 1 decimal what place. Then this implies division in logarithm. Division in indices and logarithm means what? Subtraction. Division in the what? Indices means what? Subtraction. That means subtraction. That means 2 decimal places minus 1 decimal place will give me a total of what? 1 decimal what place. That means what I have here, a total of what? 1 decimal place. That's what I have here. Now, when I have done this, I'm going to divide this as if they are not what? Decimal fraction. I'm going to divide this as if they are not what? Decimal fraction. After I have gotten the total decimal place of this value. So now I'm going to say 15 divided by 15 divided by 5. That's what I'm going to do now. That's I'm dividing it as if they are not decimal what? Fraction. And that will give me what? 3. That means what? 15 divided by 3 will give me what? 15 divided by 5 will give me what? 3. After you have given me 3, I have to return my what? Decimal point. I have to return my decimal point, that decimal places, back. And how many decimal places did I have in total? 1. I'm going to look at where the point is. I'm going to take it back. 1. That's what means going to the here. And this means that it's going to be what? 0.3. And that implies that what? 0.15 divided by what? 0.5 is equals to what? 0.3. So if I divide this with this, I'll have what? 0.3. That's what takes me now. The same thing, I come over here. To solve this, I first of all get the what? The decimal fraction, the decimal place of what? This man. I'm going to get the decimal place of this man. How many decimal places is this? This 0.066. I'm going to say 0.066. What do we say? I say that this point is represented by 1. Then this 0 is 0. The other value after this point is represented by 0. That means I have 0 again for 6, 0 again for another 6, 0 for 0, 0 for 6, 0 for this 6. That means how many zeros do I have here? I have what? 3. That means that this man has what? How many decimal places? He has the what? 3 decimal places. 3 decimal places. Then I'm going to check how many decimal places does this man have. I have 0.2. That means that this dot here represents 1, and after that, after the dot, other ones is represented by 0. That means the 2 is represented by 0. That means that he has 1 decimal place. That means here I have 1 decimal what place. Then that implies division. Division in what? Logarithm and indices is what? Minus. Division is what? Minus in logarithm. And the 3 decimal places minus 1 decimal places will give me what? 2 decimal places as my total decimal places. I have 2 decimal places as the total decimal places I'm going to have here. 3 minus 1 will give me what? 2. Then I'm going to divide this as if they are not in what? Decimal fraction. I'm going to divide this as if they are not what? Decimal fraction, which is going to be what? 6 divided by what? 2. And that gives me what? 3. I'm going to return back my decimal point, which I have 3, and look at where my decimal point is, but I have 2 decimal places to return back. I have 1, and I'm going to do 2. That means my decimal point have to go to this point. And I'm having that this is something that was 0.33. That implies that 0.066 divided by what? 0.2 is equals to what? 0.33. That's what I'm going to have here. So when we divide this man with this, I'm going to have what? This. Let's go to question number 3. Question number 3. I'm dividing this to this. We are dividing 0.0028 divided by 0.02. I'm going to first find the what? Decimal places of this value. How many decimal places in this value? And that implies that I have 0.0028. Then I have that this point is represented by 1. After this 1, other ones will be what? 0. This 0 is 0. This 0 is 0. 2 is 0. 8 is what? 0. And that implies that I have how many decimal places for this value? 1, 2, 3, 4. That means this value have 4 decimal places. It has 4 decimal places. I'm going to look for how many decimal places of this man, which is what? 0.102. How many decimal places on this? I have that this dot is represented by 1, and 0 will be represented by 0, 2 will be represented by 0, and I have a total of 2 decimal places. I'm saying that this man I have what? 2 decimal what? Places. It has a total of what? 2 decimal places. 2 decimal what? Places. That's what I have here. And division is minus, as we said. Division is what? Minus in logarithm. Then that means 4 decimal places minus 2 decimal places will give me what? Total of what? 2 decimal what? Places. That means this man have a total of 2 decimal places. Right now, after I have done this, I'm going to divide this as if they are not what? Decimal fraction. I'm going to have 28 divided by what? 2, and that will give me what? 1, 4. Then I'm going to return my decimal place, which I have 2 decimal places, which is this. Total of 2 decimal places. Look at where my point is here, which is my cursor. I'm going to return it to 1. I'm going to do what? 2. That means my decimal point will be here. I'm going to have what? That this is something as what? 0, which is what? Placeholder, dots. You can be dots. And I have 1, 4. Remember that this 0 is a placeholder, which notifies me of the dots. Then I have this to say that my what? 0.0028 divided by what? 0.02. The answer is 0.14. Then I'm coming to question number 4. The same thing is applicable on the what? Question number 4. I will first check the what? The decimal places. How many decimal places in 8? How many decimal places in 8.64? And I will say this dot is represented by 1, and 6 here is 0, 4 here is 0. That means it has 2 decimal places. I will now say these are what? 2 decimal places. And division is what? Minus. I'm going to look for how many decimal places on this one. I have 0.2, and this dot is represented by 1, and that 0 will be represented to what? 2. And that shows me that it has a 1 decimal places. And I have this man have 1 decimal place. Then I'm going to have 2 decimal place minus 1 decimal place will give me 1 decimal places as my what? Total. Then I'm going to now divide this as if they are not what? Decimal fraction. I'm going to divide this as if they are not what? Decimal fraction. I will have what? 8.6. I'm going to have what? 864 divided by what? 2. I'm going to have 864 divided by 2 will give me what? Answer to the what? 4. Going over here, 3. And going over here will give me what? 2. And when I have done that, I'm going to return my decimal places here. I'll have what? 4, 3, 2. And look at where my decimal point is. Then I'm going to return it back by 1. I have 1, which is what? 1 decimal places. I'm going to have my dot here. And that means that what? This is the 4, 3 dot what? 2. And that means that what? 8.64 divided by what? 0.12 is going to give us what? 43.2 as our what? Answer. And that's what we have here. That's going to give us this. That this divided by this will give me 43.2. Then let's go to the next question. Question number 5. Question number 5 said 0.69 divided by 0.003. For me to do this, I have to check the number of decimal place here and the number of decimal place on this value. I'm checking the number of decimal place on this man. I have 0.6 what name. I have these dots represent 1, and after this dot, as we said, any other value is represented by 0. 6 is represented by 0, and 9 is represented by 0. And this takes me, this number of 0 I have here takes me how many decimal places this man have here. And that means that what I have what 2 decimal places here. And division in logarithm is minus. Then I'm going to look for what? How many decimal places does this man have? I have 0.003. And I say this dot is represented by what? 1. And after that, every other value is represented by 0. That means 0 here is represented by 0. This man is represented by 0. And 3 is represented by 0. And the number of 0 that is used to represent these values are the number of the what? Place value. The number of decimal place. So this man have what? 3, how many? 3 decimal places, 3 what? Decimal what? Place here. And after that, this means that 2 decimal places minus 3 decimal places will give me minus 1 decimal what? Place. Then that gives me minus 1 decimal place. Now the negative 1. Now I'm going to divide this as if they are not decimal fraction. I'm going to divide this as if they are not what? Decimal fraction. That means I have 69 divided by what? 3. And that will give me what? 2, 3. That's what? 3 goes here, 2, 3. That's 2, 3. Then now, I'm going to return my decimal place, which I have minus 1 decimal place here. That means that my 23, which I have like this, and look at where my decimal point is after I have divided this. Then returning this man, I will move it this way because it's negative. It is positive. If it is positive, I move this way. But since it's negative, I'm going to move this way. And my decimal point will move to this point here. It will move to this point here. Then right now, I'm going to put what we call placeholder, which is 0. I'm going to put 0 here, which is what my placeholder. And this implies that I have 230 here. I have what? 230. And that means, therefore, that if I divide 0.6 what mean divided by what? 0.003, that my answer will be what? 230. And what did I do that? I said when the two decimal places is negative, I'm going to return it this way instead of this way. The one we have been doing, our decimal places is positive, therefore we move in. But since the decimal places is negative, we'll move what? Out. Have you noticed it now? This decimal places is negative, I move out. 1. And I use a placeholder which we call 0 to represent it. And that means that this is our answer. Then going to question number 6. First of all, I'm going to check the what? Decimal places on this man. I have what? 0.086. And this point represent 1, and after that all will be represented by 0, and this will be represented by 0, and 6 will be represented by 0, and that shows me that I have 3 decimal places here. I have 3 decimal places here. Then division here is minus, and how many decimal places is on this man? 0.000 and 0.2. That means this man now represents 1. After that, others will be represented by 0. How many 0 do I have here? 4 and 2. I have this. And this means that this man have how many decimal places? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means he has 5 decimal places. And since he has 5 decimal places, and that will give me the total. That's 3 decimal places minus 5 decimal places will give me minus 2 decimal places. Then now, after I have done that, I'm going to divide this as if they are not decimal fraction. I'm going to have 86 divided by 2, and that will give me 433. Then now I'm going to return my decimal places, and right now I have 43 here, and look at my dots where my decimal place is. Then looking at the total decimal places I have here is which is minus 2 decimal places. And because of it is minus, I'm going to move this way. My decimal place will move 1, and the second one, that means my point will be here. And I will use my place value, which is 0, place value, which is 0. And this implies that this is something as 4300. And that implies that if I divide 0.086 divided by 0.0002, that my answer will be 4300. That's what is going to be my answer, 4300. And that's what is going to be my answer when I divide this by this. I will have 4300. And I believe that you find it useful of what we are doing. Then look at the question number 7. Coming to question number 7, I will first of all check how many decimal places here and how many decimal places here. I will start by saying 0.123. I'm going to check for this one. I have that this point is presented 1, and after that every other value will be represented by 0. And I have 1 here, 0, 2 here, 0, 3 here, 0, and I have that this takes me how many decimal places, which is 3 decimal places. I have here to be 3 decimal places. And this division is minus. I'm going to check how many decimal places in this man. I'm going to check how many decimal places is here. I have 0.00. How many 0? How many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 3, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here now will be 1, and after that other ones will be represented by 0. I'm going to have 0 for this, 0 for this, 0 for this, 0 for this, 0 for this. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 0 for 3, which is making it 6. And that gives me that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 6 decimal places. This man have 6 decimal places. That means that I have 3 minus 6 decimal places. 3 minus 6 decimal places will give me a total of minus 3 decimal places. That I have minus 3 decimal places of total decimal places here. Then I'm going to divide this as if they are not decimal fraction. I'm going to have 0. I'm going to divide this as if they are not decimal fraction. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 divided by 3. I'm going to have 3 goes into 3, 1 goes into this 4, will give me answer to give me 41. And this will give me 41 when I divide this to give me 41. Then I'm going to return my decimal places. Look at where my point is, my cursor will be. Then now, how many decimal places I have? 3, and it's negative. Because it's negative, I'm going to move away, not moving in. I'm going to move away. If it is positive, I'm moving. If it is negative, I move away. I'm going to move it now. 1, 2, and 3. That means that my point will land here. And I have to replace this place with placeholder, which is 0, placeholder, which is 0, placeholder, which is 0. And this means that this is something as 41000. 41000. That means that if I divide 0.123 divided by, if I divide it by what? 0.000003, I'm going to have my answer to be 41000 as my answer. Then let's go to question number 8. Question number 8 says, dividing this with this, I will first of all look for what? How many decimal places on this man? How many decimal places on this man? And how many decimal places on this man? I'm going to have 0.305. And how many decimal places is here? 1, I use this dot is 1. And after this dot, other ones will represent by 0. 3 is 0, 0 is 0, 5 is 0. That shows me that it's 3 decimal places. I have 3 decimal places here. Then division is what? Minus. Division is minus. I'm going to check for this one, which is 0.005. I'm going to say this is 1. And after that, others will be 0, 0 is 0, 0 is 0, 5 is what? 0. That means 3 decimal places. I have what? 3 decimal places also here. And I'm going to have a total of what? 0 decimal places for this. That means I have 0 decimal places. That's 3 decimal places minus 3 decimal places give me 0 decimal places. Therefore, I'm going to divide this as if they are not one decimal fraction. I'm going to have 305 divided by what? 5. 305 divided by 5. And that will give me what? This will give me what? 61. That gives me 61. And my answer, since my decimal places is 0, there's nothing to return back. Since my decimal places is 0, there's nothing to return back. Therefore, I can now say that 0.1305 divided by what? 0.005 will give me my answer to be what? 61 as my answer. That means when we divide it by this, it gives us what? 61 by what? My answer. Therefore, if you see what we do here as nice, as I said, subscribe to enable me to grow my channel, and also comment and share to your friend. If you have subscribed, please enable comments and share to a friend. Thank you. See you in the next video.